Hello and welcome to Bandy, a podcast about being flexible in all of the ways that means. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young, and I'm one of your interchangeable substitute hosts. Joining me, as always, is our other interchangeable and substitute host, Beth Martin. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
There's no substituting us,
Right?
Andy. Whatever.
But I think we are interchangeable in a lot of
Yeah, that's
ways.
true. That's true.
Right?
It's kind of like talking to myself every week,
Sure, exactly,
but it's
exactly.
like, but also I never know what I'm going to say.
I think for the people at home, it's only the fact that the accents are different that they have
I
any
think
idea.
so. I know. I never really put that together. Anyways,
Mhm.
uh, okay, crack.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Hell yeah.
Feeling good. Stem cells did their work. Um, yeah. Generally, like, I'm good. It's like I went for a hike yesterday
Okay, wow, love it.
and I didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm just going to go for a hike. And it wasn't like, okay, you have an energy budget. And if you go for the hike, that means you have to lay down for an hour. And then, like,
Yep,
like, can you pick up the kids at a certain time? Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I'm doing awesome.
that rocks. I
And I
love
just, I have a PSA. Do you guys have PSAs in
it.
Northern
I think
Ireland?
we do public service announcements. We do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we're in our mid 40s. Maybe some of our listeners are also in their mid 40s.
Uh-huh.
Hormones are a fucking bitch, I'll
Uh-huh.
say.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
that's for any gender. Uh, so I'm working with I have now I'm gonna sound like a total hippy dippy, but I work with a naturopathic doctor.
Uh-huh.
Here in the States, usually they have like prescribing rates, so they can prescribe like they're actual doctors. They just have like more tools in their tool belt.
Okay.
So my doctor was like, I was like, I'm still like, my body's just off. And he was like, okay, let's run your labs. And I was like, okay. So we ran all the labs and he's like, your body's not making hormones. And he's like, okay, so we're doing this thing. It's called HRT, hormone replacement therapy.
Uh-huh. Heard of it?
Highly recommend it for dudes too.
Okay.
It's not just like women need testosterone and men need estrogen,
Yeah.
like at least in like, a certain dosage. So if that's off, then like everything is off. So I'm just saying, if anyone is feeling like their body's just not working the right way, go talk to somebody, get your hormones checked
For sure. Definitely
for
worth
sure.
looking into
Yes.
it. I'm afraid
Yes.
of checking because I have real low T energy, and
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I don't want that confirmed. Or do I want that confirmed? I don't know. Maybe I
I
do.
mean, maybe, but it's like if you have more of estrogen, maybe then your body would like start creating more testosterone.
This is true. So maybe I do
Bodies
need
are
to look
weird.
into it,
Bodies are
aren't
weird.
they?
My
Uh,
body's actively eating my hormones
I
right now
you know
instead of creating them.
oh, let's see, that's interesting.
I know.
Okay, well, I hope this works.
Me too.
I don't know that I've ever had a physical. I was just thinking about that. It's probably I should have one, especially at my age.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Like once a year.
Oh
But
God. Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know how it works in Northern Ireland,
I
right?
think that I talking to American
Is it,
friends of mine, I feel like they're more of a
yeah,
thing in America, but I probably still should have one, when I hit 40 or something like that, I guess. But who knows?
yeah, yeah. Like
Uh,
cholesterol and like,
I did have like I can't remember, my bloods were tested for something, and my cholesterol level was really low, and I was secretly delighted about that because I do love eating fat directly, like just and inhaling it. Um,
Crisco
yeah, just eating blocks of it, yeah,
with an
exactly.
ice cream scooper.
Exactly. Like I just put two cookies on either side and just eat it, Um, I
It's
don't really do
disgusting.
that.
Oh, good,
Um,
good. Yeah. No, no, we can't be friends if you're doing that.
okay, fair. That's fair. I'm not doing that, I promise.
No.
Um,
What's the going with you?
Jesus, Beth, I've got so much crack.
Oh my
So,
God, lay it on me.
okay. I'll try and sandwich some of it. So let's first of all get the big news out of the way. I did go and see Fantastic Four.
Oh, what'd you
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. It's definitely by far comfortably the best version of Fantastic Four. I think because like one of the things that I liked most was that the thing, it's like it's set like 3 years after they've arrived in the scene, basically, and the thing isn't like so many versions of the thing have been like, oh no, I'm a rock monster, it's awful. And I get it, it sucks,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah.
kind of worked past that and he's kind of accepted himself and he's just like this kind of like larger than life kind of like badass. He's great, like how he interacts with people and stuff is fantastic. But just yeah, really wonderful. I definitely recommend it. It just really I think like I'm really kind of delighted that there's been two superhero films over the past month that have just I have just loved it and Superman have just been fantastic. So definitely worth a look, I think.
I
Uh,
heard Pedro Pascal was being like, a lot of people were not excited that he was cast.
like I don't know, like people have said that he's not a great Reed Richards. I thought he was good. I just don't think he had a ton of stuff to do, really.
Yeah.
And like because of like Reed's like kind of more serious, so you're and like not like so you're maybe missing some of like Pedro's natural charm as a result. So I
Hmm.
could see how you people could say he was miscast, but I thought he was pretty good in it, I must say. Like, I mean, I thought everybody did a good job. I especially liked um Vanessa,
I know
what's
what
her
you're talking
name?
about.
I can't remember her second name. And the guy that played Johnny Storm as
Hmm.
well. And the dude Ebon Moss Backrack, I remember his name from The Bear as the Thing. He was
Hmm.
fantastic. So I think like everybody else did, they were all wonderful. So it's definitely worth a look.
Good.
Um, so I did like so in line with you doing a hike. I've done like so much today, and I'm absolutely shattered. I
He's he got on and he's like, I'm sleepy today, which I don't think you've ever said.
no, it's true. I don't think I ever said it.
You're
I
just
mean,
like,
like
I'm stressed, but like sleepy is a new feature.
so there's a couple. This is true. Then like I'm always stressed with sleepiness as well. There's a couple of reasons why the sleepiness has happened. So we'll talk about first. I'll talk about I done a lot of walking as usual. I taught a yoga class, and then because I'm going on a cycling trip next week, I'm trying to get some miles under me. I'm trying to like build up the calluses on my butt, so I am in good shape for a week's worth of cycling. Right. So I did a 32-kilometer cycle this afternoon.
Okay. That means
Uh,
nothing to me. I love it.
32 kilometers is what, about 20 miles
That's
roughly?
okay.
Um,
That's a fair,
yeah,
in Kentucky, we'd say that's a fur piece.
it is a fair
That's
pace. Yeah, I mean, like, it's no joke, especially for like somebody who's not been doing a ton of it. It's just ruined me. Like, I came in and like got chips, which, as a treat, fries for Americans, big chunky
Mhm.
kind of fries, those sorts of things, because it was like, I deserve an indulgence and a bottle of beer
Yeah.
after that. But I'm just like, I'm so sleepy. Also, so I've been talking recently about coming off my antidepressants.
Hmm?
I say about a week or so after I came off them, my sleep went to complete shit. And I knew that was a possibility. I had kind of like, that's just the one thing I'd been a little bit nervous about was because before I started on my antidepressants, I had been waking up every morning like about 2 or 3 a.m. Sometimes I would get back to sleep, sometimes I wouldn't. And it was a nightmare. I was always exhausted. So I've had about a week and a half of that, and I was like, I can't keep doing this because it's a nightmare. So I have went back and I'm taking like the smallest possible dose of my antidepressants, and it
Mhm.
has, excuse me, leveled my sleep back out again, but has also made me a little bit drowsy over the past few days as well. So I'm just kind of trying to find the stability of that. I'm a little bit disappointed about having to go back onto them, but I also know the value of sleep and whatever works, I think, is important to just do that because like
If you
not
don't, like we've talked about it, like if you don't have sleep, like you don't,
yeah, you're
it's
fucked. You can't do
it's just
anything.
no, it's awful. Like by
Absolutely.
day three, and you're just like, it's like I call it the skids.
Yes. You're just like, I don't know, the eyes are hanging out of you. It's brutal. And I was just like trying to do things and it was like, this is so rough. So that's kind of why it's a bit of a devil's brew of why I'm so exhausted today, trying to train out for cycling and also absolutely shattered. Very, very tired.
Well, especially like if you're gonna like I can feel the travel panic where you're like, if I'm not sleeping and I'm traveling and I'm supposed to be like doing all these things, like I have to figure it out before I leave.
Yes.
So
Because I was having a real
yeah.
concern on Saturday. I was talking to Kate about it. I was like, am I cut out for this trip if I'm feeling like this? Should I abort, But like I think this has got me back on track, and I feel a bit better about
Good,
it.
good.
So we'll see how it goes.
No
Uh,
shame.
no, exactly.
No shame in the antidepressant game.
No, absolutely. So we at the weekend went to there is a an island at the north of Northern Ireland called Rathlin, and it has a seabird center on it. I doubt you would have heard of it, but like you can kind of get a boat out there, and we went there on Sunday past,
Fun.
and we saw. Do you know what puffins are?
Yeah,
We saw so many
they're so
puffins.
fucking cute. And like, I don't know if you've ever like seen them like jump in the water. They don't jump in the water, they like flop, and it's like literally the most un like there's no grace.
I love it. I
They
don't
just
think we
like
saw
hurl themselves in.
because they were all so whenever we were looking for them, and then we saw like there was literally I'd say 40 or 50 in the water, I guess looking for
Hmm.
food, and it was so wonderful because like that's what we were there for. And like at first we were kind of like scouring the cliff faces and looking for puffins, but no such luck. They have like underground kind of burrows.
Hmm.
Um But like even in the where the burrows and stuff were, no such luck. And then we looked out, and I was like, "What are those things?" Because there's lots of seagulls and things like that. And then I was like, "Yep, tons of puffins." Just like I would say, about 20, couple of groups of about 20 puffins each, and it was just like, "Yay, lots of puffins."
They have like the cutest beak ever.
They do.
Yeah, we have them here. They're like a seabird that we have like on the more like up north in like Oregon and
I was gonna say
Washington.
probably in colder
Yep.
climates, right? Yeah,
Yep.
but that was exciting.
That's
Um,
awesome.
right. Finally, the last thing I want to tell you about was I watched. I don't know if I've told you about this, but I was kind of quite excited to watch this. I watched a movie called Grand Theft Hamlet.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of this.
Okay. So it rocks, and I've been meaning to watch it for ages, and I'm so glad that I did. Essentially, the setup is that the whole movie is filmed in Grand Theft Auto,
Hmm.
and the project kind of started over lockdown, and it was about these two friends who are actors who were struggling because like they had no work. The future looked pretty bleak in terms of what their lives were going to be like. So they spent a lot of time playing video games, figuring out how they were going to pay their bills, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
They decide then in the game, based on the fact that they're not going to be able to do any work anytime soon, could they feasibly set up a production of Hamlet within Grand Theft Auto?
The
And
actual video game.
the actual video game, and
Wow.
that's what they do, and it's really well done. Like it's like a lot of really kind of big chats about where their lives are at and the kind of like heaviness of like the loneliness and stuff like that a lot of people felt over lockdown, but then like interspersed with some crazy shit because like um Grand Theft Auto is insanity, and like there's people who will just come up like blow your head off just because it's funny. So like you've got them like perform. So they basically meet some guys, they meet some folks who like don't want to be part of it, or their English language skills aren't good enough in their opinion, and they're like, I don't want to be part of it, but maybe I'll help out. I'll provide security, and they are doing scenes from Hamlet while a guy in a Harrier jump jet is like shooting his chain. He's just like blown away. People who are trying to disrupt the production. It's incredible.
They're like, but soft Horatio. Boom, boom, boom,
Exactly.
boom, boom.
Exactly. Amazing. So very, very good. And they actually managed to pull it off in the end, and it's
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 a
very well done.
super, super cheap way too, because it's like you don't have to pay for anything.
This is the thing, and they talk about like the in terms of the production budget to do what they did, it would just be unimaginable, and like because like they have various scenes where like the ghosts are coming in, and they have the ghost on a blimp, and this blimp kind of comes up, and he's like, "Oh, I shall follow it," and he kind of jumps on the blimp with the ghost, and the blimp kind of flies away. And it's really wonderful. So yes, I definitely recommend it. It's like nothing else I've seen before.
Did you know I was in the production of Hamlet in high school, Andy?
Were you? Who are you?
Yes, I played guard too.
Oh wow,
Do you want
congratulations.
to know my lines?
Go for it.
Okay, my first one was I, my lord, and my
Mm.
second was I, my lord.
Well, that made your life a lot easier in terms of trying to remember stuff. So that's
Yeah,
good. I love it.
yeah. Anyways,
Amazing.
occasionally Mike will be like, I'll ask him to do something and he'll be like, I'm a lord. And I'm like, fuck you.
That's good. It's good. It's good that he does it occasionally. That's the best
I
way. It's just to deploy it
know.
every now and again. Amazing. That's the correct move.
I know, right?
So good.
It's so stupid.
Great. Hey, it rocks. Hey, you had a speaking
Mm,
part to play, okay? Don't
I
nobody can take
did.
that. Nobody can take that away from you, is what I say.
No, they can't.
I love it. Okay.
Yep.
Um. So, have you got any? What's occurring for us? That was
I
the end of my
do.
massive list of
That's a
what's the
huge
crack.
list. It's
Right? I had
huge.
so much.
You were like, I got so much. And I was
Whew.
like, I don't know. But no, you proved me. You proved me
I did.
wrong. Right. I don't know. So um I love your girlfriend because she sends me memes all the time and I like
Yes.
it like she makes me laugh. So that's part of my joy. I'll get back to that. But
Okay.
so she sent me, we're obsessed with birds,
Sure.
obviously. So I get lots of, she's sending me information now about crows.
Sounds right.
Uh, so she said that crows will teach your children to hate the humans that they hate.
Oh, interesting.
I
Okay. I love it.
know. Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting. Yeah.
A, that they hate, like, they've realized that crows hate certain people, and B, that they can then be like, all right, babies, hate on that
This
person.
person's an asshole.
Yeah,
I love it.
I know. Powerful tool.
It
And
is.
then I'm talking to our buddy back to Armageddon again, where I
Okay.
was making fun of Armageddon. So they said, I don't think people should cry at the end of Armageddon, but Armageddon thinks you should be crying. I think that they should have played the Def Leppard song Armageddon it over at the end credits and not that weak Aerosmith ballad, but I guess Liv Tyler might have had some pull there. And then I was
That's a
thinking
good
about it,
point.
and I really, really, really dislike that Aerosmith
Is it
song.
the
Don't
don't
want to miss a thing.
don't miss a thing 'cause I miss
Thing,
you,
don't want to
girl.
miss
No,
it.
no,
Don't
no,
want
no,
to... Right.
no, no.
You're welcome, everyone, for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's so bad. Now I'm singing
Yeah.
Cold November Rain, but I don't like that song either. Maybe I'm not an Aerosmith fan.
I think that was like, there's still early Aerosmith some have some good early stuff, but that's when Aerosmith were just like, who gives a shit? And they were just
Yeah,
putting out the ballads, the bullshit
yeah,
ballads. Like I still think they had some nice stuff, or not nice stuff, that's a bad word. They had some fun stuff in the 90s, but then they were just like, who gives a fuck?
yeah.
Let's cash in.
Who sang Sweet Emotion? Was that Aerosmith?
That was Aerosmith, yeah.
Okay, like that was their heyday.
I completely agree. And I mean, like,
Yeah,
that was before Steven Tyler completely fucked up his voice and stuff as well. So it's like,
yeah,
that's, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. They
yep.
had some good stuff, but yeah, years ago. I love it. Is that so? I don't have any what's occurring. Is that all the what's
That's all I got. Yep,
occurring?
yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right. So we move on to our talk for the week.
Yes.
All right. So our talk for this week is experiences that changed us? Question mark for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why my
Yeah.
voice went up at the end, but it did. Oh my brain, oh my purple brain. Okay.
It's okay.
So bad. So we
We're gonna milk it until it is
ah,
fried. And
it's gonna
then you're
collapse.
gonna
Too
go to
late.
bed and
It's
you're gonna feel,
pre-fried.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's
Um,
good.
so this was actually an interesting one, and it's something I really struggle with because, like, I suppose I was really thinking about it a lot as I was putting it together in terms
Mhm.
of, both negative and positive things. I thought was good to like loop in. Um, but I suppose a lot of it seemed to be, certainly in my version of it, connected to big decisions that I made, if that makes sense.
It does. I kind of went, I think I went small and big, where I was
Uh-huh.
like, that had I not done this or
Mhm.
learned this, then like that was a catalyst for like all the
Yeah.
jobs I had kind of thing. But like the catalyst was a very small thing.
Yep.
So, um, yeah. Do you want to start with your first thing that you
Sh-
learned?
Sure. So I
I
think
kind of went like chronologically too.
Okay, I'll talk a little bit I like about so and I think like and I have such mixed feelings about this, but I feel like discovering weed was such a
That's on my list too. Okay,
yeah,
that's what we need to do.
okay.
Be
Because
like,
like
yeah, me too, or no, not me.
yes.
Okay.
Because like I
First time I smoked weed is literally on my list.
yes. Because like and I was like, well, where's this been all my life? I love it, I love it.
No hangover. Amazing.
Yes, and like I still kind of feel that way about it in a lot of ways, but I'm also kind of like and it's interesting because I don't think since I like have stopped smoking it, I've become, more or less productive. I kind of hate thinking about it through that lens, but do you know what I mean? I think I kind of
Yeah.
had an idea that it was like, just sapping me of something, but it wasn't really. I feel like ultimately it probably wasn't doing me a lot of favors in terms of my mental state and like
Hmm.
depressive situations I got myself into. But I feel like certainly my early experiences with it, it brought a lot of fun times. It oftentimes brought me a peace of mind that I really struggle to find elsewhere.
Hmm.
Um, and as I say, like there's a big part of me that wants to find a way to I want to find a way to introduce it back into my life that feels manageable, but I just don't know what that is right now. But I
Yeah.
think it has, and like if I was told I had to give up one of the two, alcohol or weed forever, I think it would be alcohol because fuck hangovers, honestly, and also as much as I would miss a beer, especially like I love a cold beer, it's so good. I think that non-alcoholic stuff is so much better now that it probably would scratch the itch in a way that
Yeah.
wouldn't have been the case previously.
That's very healthy. And I feel like such guilt that I have so much access because to weed,
Yeah,
you know, it's like I have weed beverages in the fridge and
it's
like,
true.
I've got a whole shelf full of edibles and like joints that are pre-rolled that you just buy and like it's
Like
crazy.
the gummies in Canada, because they were so inexpensive and they were so
Yeah.
good. I just really wish I had access to those because I would just have some on deck, and I don't think I would feel the need to have one every now and again. But if I just wanted to chill for an hour or two, take one. I know exactly what dose I'm getting. I know I'm going to feel after it. And then just chilling out would be so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. No, I totally like for me, I remember like the first time I smoked and was like it was like the funniest night I'd ever had.
Yeah,
Um, and then it's like, and like that got me through college, really. Like
yeah,
I didn't really like occasionally someone would like, we were all under 21 and you can't drink unless you're 21. So like
yeah.
it was easier to get weed than it was
Oh, that's
to
a
get
good
alcohol.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's such bullshit. Like it truly is.
I know. I know, right? Okay. My turn, my first sunburn.
Ooh, interesting one.
Yeah, yeah. Where it's like, when you're little and your parents are like, don't forget to put on your sunscreen and wear a hat and all that. And then then they kind of back off and you start being in charge of your own body. And it was like the most painful thing ever. And I had to sit on an airplane for like
Ooh,
from Florida back to Oregon. And it was like, I was so sunburned. And I was like, I'll never do this again.
my my two kind of sunburn experiences are certainly one in Florida where I mean,
Fucking
my
Florida, man.
fucking Florida for so many reasons, fucking Florida. Um, was that like I remember there was one of their water parks in Disney had like this like lazy river, and essentially like you
Oh
got in like
no.
a circular ring and you could just go
Yes.
around the park. It was incredible. I loved it so much.
Just like laying there and
Oh,
peeing.
oh, what a dream. And I had, Frontal lotion they had to, well, nearly head to toe. But what I had forgotten to put it on was at the top of my feet. I think maybe I must have been wearing some shoes at the time. And like my top of my feet was just completely covered with blisters. And like it was like one big blister. It was awful, really bad. I remember like trying to put shoes on and being in such pain. And like I've mostly been better. I've definitely got some as time has went on. Like sometimes you're stupid. You're like, oh, I want a tan or whatever, and then just don't put it on and get burned as fuck. But the
Yeah.
most dangerous ones for me have been days. Was one in Taiwan where it was like I was at the beach, but it was really overcast all day. but that did not stop me from getting burnt
No.
as
It
fuck.
when it's like overcast like that, it actually like magnify the water
Oh, does
droplets
it?
magnify the sunbeams, so it's like you can actually get more of a sunburn than if it was just sunny.
It was like I was like a lobster for like 5 days. It was really
Oh,
bad. It was so like it's and I
oh.
had to go in and teach like that. The students were like, oh, like they're like, oh, lobster teacher, and I'm like, yes, lobster teacher, ha ha ha.
I would have worn a lobster hat.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, I
Just
would,
be own
I
it,
earned it, you know.
own it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um.
give me one.
Okay. So I guess because it was really consequential for me was that the next one I kind of thought was whenever I decided to take a year, not a year out, semester out in school and go to North Carolina.
Mhm.
That was consequential for a number of different reasons. A, it was me going out there on my own in a major way that I had never done before. B, I also met one of my dearest friends, Mike, who I'm actually, I'm that's who I'm going on my cycling trip with next week. And he has been the catalyst for so many major events in my life for a number of different reasons, just through knowing him, you know.
Is he
Um,
American or is he?
no, he's Scottish,
Oh, okay,
but
cool.
he
But you
was.
met in North Carolina?
Yeah, we met in North Carolina. I know. I know. It's so funny. I like. It's just weirdly like he has a lot of family in Northern Ireland. So as a result, he had been over here a lot. So we ended up spending a lot of time with each other over the years. You know.
Hmm.
So he's been a really good friend to me. Um, but like that was so terrifying to me. Like, and I have such a memory of it because I remember you know whenever you've never done anything like that before, flying to a different country by yourself, getting on a bus to get you down to North Carolina, and like it's crazy anyway. It feels like insane, but for whatever reason, I got a really bad cold or fever or something like that on the way over. So I was like sweating buckets, really not fit very well. So this crazy experience was magnified by me feeling really sick, and like the first few days there, once I got my accommodation, was just me trying to pass out, trying to figure out, you
How
know,
to how to take care of yourself in a completely different environment with none
yeah,
of your things.
yeah.
You're like, I have clothes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, this is wild. What am I doing? This is absolutely insane. So yeah, so that was absolutely nuts. But like it was so good for me in a lot of in a lot of ways because like it really helped me get out of my shell. Like, I'm still fairly reserved. I think I always have been. But like it helped me build confidence, which I think was so key in terms of like what I have become as my life went on.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, definitely like I have that on my list. Like the first time I booked my own airplane
Oh
ticket
yeah.
and like without my parents knowing, because I was in college and I was like, they don't need to know that I'm flying to Mississippi,
Yeah.
right? Which like I should have told them and they would have been like, cool, be safe,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, still, feeling like I was probably like a sophomore, so I was like 19. Um, but that was scary.
Yeah,
And then my
absolutely.
best friend was like 2 hours late picking me up, and my cell phone died.
Oh
So
no.
I was just like sitting at the airport being like, I might be fucked. And then she
Yeah.
showed up, and
Okay.
it was like, and then I learned what a bat in a dugout was. Uh,
Okay.
so it's like speaking of weeds, sorry, this is tangenting, but it's basically like it's a little container and it's like a one hitter. So in the dugout, that's where you put your weed. And then you have this little like one hitter. It's called the bat. And you jam the bat into the dugout and it puts a little like single portion into the bottom of the bat and then you smoke it.
Interesting.
So it holds your lighter, it holds your weed, and it holds the bat. It's called a bat in a dugout. I was
That
like, that's cool.
rocks.
I didn't
I
know that.
not even encountered those ever.
Baseball reference, right?
Yeah,
American
exactly. This is
baseball.
true.
I mean, is there any other kind of baseball?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna say this is basic, but I'm gonna say learning to read.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I
because
think like, even yeah, I mean like being encouraged to read as well is so crucial.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like my mom is a like was a, she's retired now, but she was a librarian, and I remember just like we would get out of school and then I would go to the library and
Yeah.
we would get, watch the microfiche movies,
Yeah.
right? And then like if I was really good, then they had like a little like multi-purpose room that had a TV.
Hmm.
And we would watch the Three Stooges.
Hmm.
So I have like my, early education in comedy is because, we could check out the I don't even think that they were VHS tapes. I don't
Oh,
remember.
interesting.
Anyways, that and the Flying Nun.
Yes. I
So,
that's a Sally Field
mhm.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yep.
I'm only kind of tangentially aware of that. Maybe a thing
I
over
think
here,
I
but
might have sent you like the intro because it's so
yes, you
funny.
did.
She's like flying around and
Yeah,
with
yeah,
her
yeah.
giant habit or whatever they're called. So,
Yeah.
but really like I've started reading books again. Um, because I think were we talking last week about like being in the flow and like just forgetting where you're what you're doing and you're so immersed in this one thing and like I'm reading it I've got two David Sedaris I don't know how to pronounce his
Oh
name
yeah.
books. He's so fucking funny, he's so funny, and I'm just grateful I can read.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah.
I think like I mean because we talked about this before because my mom wasn't a librarian but she worked in a library basically her whole life. She
Hmm.
was a
Hmm.
library assistant and then library manager for a long chunk of time. Um, but she was always very keen on us reading. She believed in it a lot. I remember her reading The Hobbit to me as a kid. I think she read Lord of the Rings as well, which was such a
That's
daunting task.
Jesus,
I
she loves you.
She does. I think maybe it was just I don't know whether I read that off my own back. I can't remember, but she definitely read The Hobbit to me, and that really kind of lit a fire under me. And then like I was voracious, and then it was really like handy having a parent who worked in a library because I could get her to order in stuff that I wanted to
Yeah.
read and things like that.
Yeah.
Get me all the Roald Dahl books you have.
Right. And we would get like, because they would cycle through books and, certain books they would, I don't know if they retire them or whatever,
Yeah.
but like, they would be a little bit too battered and so they'd have to reorder. And we would get all these free books. So like that's how I learned about Greek myths and Norse gods and giants. And um I'm pretty happy about the fact that like my kids love to read. And I
Yes.
heard this thing, I think it was Sarah Jessica Parker.
Hmm.
Um, who we were talking about recently, but she said that her mom always made them leave the house with a book
Okay.
because she was like, wherever you go, you'll always have a friend.
It's a nice idea.
And I was like, I got a tear, right?
Yeah. I think that is really good, and I always like to have a book as well. Like I always, if I have a book, it's always nice to reliably know I will have some entertainment.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So whenever my mum worked in the library, some Scientologists came in and gave them a copy of Dianetics and
Yeah.
some other Scientology book. I can't remember what it was. And like she told them, she was like that we can't take solicitations like this. They will not. And they were like, oh, you have them anyway. Maybe we'll decide to put them in the shelf. So she brought them home for us, and like I think we still have a copy of them somewhere. And like I was at one point thinking, do I want to like read this and just see what it's like? And I was like, I don't think I want to take the risk of it corrupting my brain and or I don't know I want to find out much more about this. So
Tom Cruise is listening to you right now and he's gonna come
right.
for you.
Oh please, Tom. Put me down.
I know, right? Uh, I never thought about that. Does the library have Bibles?
Huh. That is a good question. I'm sure they have religious books. So yeah, I mean like I suppose in fairness, if they have the Bible, they should probably also have the Quran and things like that, but I don't know.
Right? Huh.
They
I'm
may
gonna
have a non-religious like,
inter,
a
inter
policy of not.
mhm. I
No,
would
no.
be Are you looking at your library?
I'm looking at my mind policy. Yes, they
In your
do.
mind palace? They do?
They do. They have a theology section. Most libraries apparently have a
Okay.
theology section, and within that they will have.
Yeah. I mean, people can like major in theology, so I'm assuming
Yeah,
that,
that's true. So
yeah.
it kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, interesting.
And also, this is so, I'm sorry, I'm just like off topic, but I was reading some article from 1900 whatever when like they were trying to pass a library bill where libraries would have books, people could check them out, and the
Mhm.
publishing companies were like rallying against it because they're like, how are we going to make any money? And, these people really fought to have access for all of us to have access to books for free. And like I took the kids to the library. I mean, we go every couple of weeks, and I'm still amazed. I look at the pile of books that they carry out, and I'm just like, I didn't have to pay for any of those.
Yeah. Libraries
I'm
rule
saving
so
all the
hard.
money. They're so great. They rock. So
They
yeah,
really do. Yeah.
libraries
Um,
and reading. Yay.
but yeah, it's that's the whole thing that like if like somebody tried to introduce libraries today, it would probably be a massive issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, free books for everyone?
Uh-huh.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's a good one. God, that was yeah, so reading, that's a really good one. That was yours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Um, I suppose, also I was thinking about this, I think probably like video games for me.
Yes.
And, say what you will about video games. Again, what you
What
think
was
of
your
them.
first?
First video game?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a tough question to answer.
Did you
My
have the Atari?
So we didn't have a games console until I was, in fact, I didn't have a games console of my own until I bought it with my own money.
Me too.
Um, Basically, my parents were against the idea, but my aunt and uncle had an Atari 2600 that we would play a lot of. So we would play things like Tank Pong and, geez, what else did they have? I feel like they had a
Frogger?
Pac-Man. They didn't have
Was it?
Frogger.
No, not for
They had
Atari.
they had Pac-Man, I'm pretty sure. Um, yeah, they had a few different ones. I'm gonna look, but yes, that was so. Then, like, but my parents wanted me to get like a computer because they thought, oh, computers are better, right?
Yeah.
That he'll do
He'll
homework
learn
and
how to, right.
and he'll learn how to code. So like I ended up getting like we had the home computing scene in this country, I think, was very different to the home computing scene in America. I think consoles were bigger, but a lot of people had either like things like Atari STs or there were Commodore 64s or Amigas.
Hmm.
And they were like both, they were basically like a keyboard with like a gaming system kind of built or like a computer built into it.
Hmm.
And a lot of people had those, and that was one of the things that I was. So that's my first sort of like gaming machine was an Atari ST, and I adored it. Like it was great. It was just such a gateway into all that stuff, and you know exactly what they didn't want to happen was that I played video games on it all the time
Yeah.
and loved it. So happy.
Yeah. But you still love it and it still like
I do.
brings you joy. It takes you out of places you don't want to be in your own brain for a
It
while.
does.
Like you really do.
I
Like
Yeah.
the amount of joy that it brings and like you'll be like, I don't know, like maybe once a month you'll be like, I'm playing this new game and
Yeah.
it makes me happy. Like that's
It,
all parents want.
this is I think so too. And like I think there's something and like I think yeah, and it's also. I approach it the same way I approach all the sort of hobbies in my life, in that I am not like I feel like a lot of people engage with video games or like movies or whatever and very surface level stuff, whereas I'm interested in finding out all the sort of weird niche shit that's out there. I feel like it's such a unique and kind of varied way to express yourself artistically, and I really find that fascinating, and I kind of love seeing what people do with that,
Yeah. And there are games that you play where I'm just like, that's such a cool fucking idea.
right?
Yeah. Okay, I got one. Don't
Uh-huh.
think this is lame.
Okay.
I learned and mastered Microsoft Office in high school.
It's good.
I had a job like working at a school, and it was like I was kind of like the floater. It was a private school, so private schools here you can like no one needs a teaching certificate. So anybody
Really?
can teach. Yeah. So I was like 16, 17. I worked there from like 16 until I was maybe 19,
Fascinating.
maybe 20. So I would go back from like college breaks and work. But so sometimes I was working in the office, sometimes I was like, substitute teacher for a month or
Uh-huh.
whatever, making lesson plans. But I really like because I knew office, I could any temp agency would hire me like jobs that were like, can you? And I'm like, I can. And then they'd test you, and I would be like, however many words per minute. I can, at the time, like no one really knew how to work Excel.
Yep.
This was like, I don't know, the 90s, right? So I was like, for being as young as I was, that got me all of the jobs that I've ever had.
Love it. That
Yeah,
rocks.
I know, right? So I was glad to have that experience. And
Um,
now I'm on disability. Ha ha. But I
yeah,
still use Excel.
fuck jobs is what I say.
I know,
Um,
right?
um, yeah, like it's one of the things, there's also the idea a little bit of, this is going to be a sidetrack of, of your value being tied up and how productive you are as well, which is such a complete
Totally.
fucking nightmare.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, no, it's interesting because like I probably also was pretty decent at office, but I don't know that I've ever leaned on that in a way that I probably should have. But yeah, anyway, I love it.
I mean, I
Um,
knew how to mail merge before everybody else, Andy.
Nice. Yeah. That's no joke. That's very useful for
I
a lot of
know.
places. That really is. Um, okay, I kind of have leap forward a little bit here. I think that like I mean this was still like mid 20s though, but like deciding to go to Korea was also huge for me
Yes.
because like I was in a relationship then and I was like, well, this is probably it for me. We're probably gonna get married. We'll maybe start a family. I like
H-
I, I liked her
How old were you?
26, 27
Okay.
maybe. And I was like and like I think certainly I loved her at a point and she was a good person, I have to say, but like I was just kind of like I don't think this is the life that I want. And I remember enviously looking at people, friends of mine, not the friends of mine who had got married and had kids, but more the friends of mine who were out in the world doing things and thinking really sadly that I'm never going to do that. That pathway is closed to me. So then basically it all happened very quickly in terms of us breaking up. And then very soon after that, my friend Mike, who I've mentioned before, who I was met in North Carolina, mentioned that his job in Korea was becoming available because he'd finished his year out there and he was moving home. And I was like, well, why not? Let's strike while iron's hot. Let's do this. And as I say, within 2 months of breaking up with my ex, I was in
You left the
Korea.
country.
Yeah,
That's that's a sick burn.
isn't it? I know it really is. It's not. It's wild, honestly. It was a really crazy turnaround, insanely so. So yeah, so that was fun. But yeah, I mean, and that was like so good for me. Like again, it was also like I have found throwing myself into the deep end is very valuable for me, as a motivator to like, and that was a really tough experience in so many ways. But I still think of it so fondly, and in terms of like, the things it's brought into my life and also the changes it made in me, it was invaluable.
Yeah. I'm like jealous that you had that experience. And I
Mm.
never, it's like I'm grateful for the life that I have and the path that I took, but
Hmm.
it's like there's always like this little part of me whereas I never went like I never did a semester abroad. Um, I lived in Texas for a year.
Yeah, that's kind of like being abroad.
I mean, yeah, it is like being in another
It's like
country.
being in another country for sure. Yeah.
But like I never did that and I regret that. And I feel like I'm making up for it, in the traveling that I do now as an adult, but I think it could have really set me in a different direction
Well, well,
as if I had done it earlier.
yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that makes a ton of sense. What gear were you in Texas? Do you
I
remember?
think it was like 2002,
Okay, okay, okay,
2001 or 2002.
okay. No, I can't remember
No,
whether
no, no, that's not right. Is that right?
it would have been
Yeah,
another one
that
of those
sounds right.
weird crossovers where it was we might have been in Texas at the same time as possible. I don't think I was there until 2006, 2007, thereabouts, I think, when I was spent a month in Dallas. But yeah, that was a trip.
Yeah, yeah. I was in Houston.
Okay. Hmm.
So
Um,
it's one big parking lot, that whole
so
city.
I understand. I never went to Houston. Like, we had the option. Well, I say we had the option. I was like making plans because I'm like, when am I going to be in Texas again? And I'm like, there was an option of Houston, there was an option of San Antonio, and like San Antonio sounds
Yeah,
way more
yeah,
interesting. And
yeah.
we went to San Antonio for an overnight, and it was great.
Did you see? Isn't that where the Alamo is?
It is. I went to the Alamo.
Okay, I just read the other day. I watched the Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Uh-huh.
Pee Wee as himself, so good. Thank you for
Okay.
recommending it. Um, but I guess that the Alamo just bought Pee Wee's bicycle from Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I
Okay.
don't know if they have a basement or not, but
Okay.
that's
Yeah. That's wow. Okay. How interesting.
I know, I loved it. Okay. I'm gonna go with it. Okay, I'm gonna start with a funny one, but I don't want to get
Uh-huh.
into it. Getting my eyebrows waxed.
Ooh.
I was
Completely?
like, no, like,
Okay.
like shaping
Shipping
them.
them. Sure.
I was not like I was dowdy until I got to college pretty much.
Hmm.
So like really like that made me feel, I don't know, a little bit more, I don't want to say attractive, but like I just felt better about
Oh,
myself.
yeah, confident or yeah.
Yeah. So, there really, I would say 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge for me.
That
And it was
was,
kind of like, oh, bad things can happen, and
yeah.
like, oh, your safety is not, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Um, and oh, terrible people exist in the world and they really want to hurt you.
Yeah.
And oh, the United States has really like done terrible things to other
Yeah.
countries, right? So it was like a lot of different, um, there was a lot of learning that came out of that. It was devastating. It was, and I have, it's like all my family lives there, right? So that was
Yeah.
hard. My cousin Ricky was like, because he is a captain on the Circle Line that goes around to like Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty.
Uh-huh.
And so he saw the whole thing happen and like
Jeez.
won't speak about it at all. But it just, I don't know. It was just, it's like it's like the whole like, where were you when Kennedy was shot, right?
Yeah.
For Americans. Um, and for my generation and our generation, it's like, where were you when 9/11 happened? And I
Yeah.
know exactly where I was and how I felt. And, I just, it was my friend Aaron's birthday. We all just sat in front of the TV and just like could not believe what was happening. So,
Yeah. I mean, I remember even being really kind of shocking. I remember because it was, I was working in a call center for like a bank at that point, and like everybody kind of stopped down just to kind of watch it. And it was like, oh shit,
yeah,
this is wild. And
yeah.
also like just like kind of like, what does this mean? Like so yeah, very wild.
Hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Wah, wah. Sorry.
wah. No, I mean like I
I'm like,
get
my
it.
eyebrows and 9/11.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Like and I don't think we've had like, the one, and like I'm not gonna say I don't give a shit because like that sounds super callous, but like whenever Princess Diana died this country, like
Yeah, yeah,
every news station, and I was just kind of remember being young enough that I was like, where are my cartoons? Like I want to watch cartoons. Why
mhm,
am I want to watch all this this footage, Um, but yeah, I probably would still think about that right now. As a fully grown adult man, if there was some sort of national tragedy, I'd be like, oh, where are my cartoons? I want to watch my cartoons right now. This is ridiculous. Anyway,
No one's calling you a man child.
nobody. I'm calling myself a man child. Um, I think the other one that really kind of stuck to me whenever I was thinking about this was starting to embrace exercise properly.
Mm.
Um, I've had like fits and starts with this over my life, and like I swam a lot as a child, and like then throughout, I would say my 20s, like in the 30s, sporadically did it. But I always walked a decent amount, so I never put on a lot of weight, but my eating habits got worse, and I wasn't doing any sort of meaningful exercise. And like and then when I went to Korea, I like lifted weights a little bit here and there, but nothing really consistently. And I was just like, I remember coming back from after Korea and Taiwan and just being like, well, I guess I'm going to be a fat guy now. I'm going to slide into that fat guy life, and that's just how it's going to be. And a friend wanted somebody, basically a gym buddy, somebody to go and lift weights with him in the mornings. Like he was like, I'm going to get up at 6:30. I'm going to go to the gym before work, and I'm like, oh, gross. But he was looking for somebody to do it 5 days a week, and I was like, no. And he's like, what about let's start at two? And we started at two, and we did two, and then we built a four, and we ended up doing five. And I'm so grateful for
Mhm.
that because
Mhm.
it built instilled a habit in me that has paid so many dividends in my life, especially now that I'm a little bit older and like I know plenty of people my age who are really struggling, whereas like for all intents and purposes, my body's pretty healthy and it does kind of what I wanted to, and and that makes me, and that is such a boon for my mental health as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
I totally. So I took weight training in high school.
Hmm.
Um, I wasn't very athletic. I was in theater and band, but that was like the first that like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And then my sister's 4 years older than me, so I turned her like she was living, you know, wherever, in college, and I turned her room into like my own weight room.
Nice.
And like I remember just like yeah, I was strong, I felt good, and like I think Mike's talking. We have a gym, but it's a 15-minute drive, which, you
Hmm.
know, eh.
That's a pretty big stumbling block.
It
Yeah.
is. It's like a 30, yeah, like 30 minutes round trip, and like
Yeah.
finding park. I don't know. I don't know. It's like that for me, that is enough of a block that I don't go, even though it was like super cheap. So we could actually, I think maybe this is because of COVID, but like home gyms are so cheap
Yeah.
now. So we're gonna set one up in the garage, and like
Love it.
I'm stoked to be able to go out there and like do weightlifting.
Yeah. Because
So
like it's really helped me in terms of just having a weight bench in my garage in terms of like being able to do it a couple of times a week and also
yeah.
like
How much you bench, man? What's your PR?
oh God, I don't know. People and I do get like it's those conversations I have with guys where they're kind of like
Where you
so
slowly die
yeah, where they're like,
inside.
so you what's the game of the weekend? What game? I'm like,
No.
dude, I got some bad news for you. But also whenever I talk about lifting weights, they're like, what's your squat record? What's your kind of deadlift record? And I'm like, it's not the sort of thing I care about at all. Like whenever I was like doing power weight training years ago, my deadlift was decent. I have no idea what it was. I couldn't, no
Yeah.
clue
No.
whatsoever.
No.
Um, but I need to find out so I could just, you know,
Get it
do it.
tattooed on your forehead.
Exactly. Yeah, just so people know how strong I am. But anyway, um, do you have like, because I'm just looking at the time here, do you want to
I
do
know it's
one
going by
more
fast.
each?
Yes. So, for me, scuba diving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's informed so much of how, like, I love any kind of beastie creature,
True.
animal. invertebrate, whatever. So it really like I've done terrestrial animals, but to be
Hmm.
able to be in the ocean and like see how they live and just like sit in like I'm gonna just sit here for 20 minutes and watch this little world here.
Yep.
Um, the places I've been able to travel
Yep.
to scuba dive, being in the middle of nowhere, knowing that there are islands out there that are no one lives and they're only
Hmm.
coconut farms I did not know or pearl farms. Clearly I'm really into warm water diving. But I've done cold water dive. I have a dry suit. Uh, but like it's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Mike he was my instructor. His instructorship has lapsed. But my daughter's turning 10. She's 10, she's turning 11,
Hmm.
and you can get certified when you're 10. So Mike is going through he's getting his instructorship again, and he's going to be able to teach our children to dive.
Oh, it's amazing.
Um, and just to open their to know that their world is going to get opened up. It's like being on another planet. Like I can't even
Yes.
explain it, you know?
Like, and I did, I think I've told you before, I did my open water
Yeah,
15 years ago and I loved it. And it's something that I would love to get back to at some stage, again, it's
yeah,
just, yeah, but it's incredible. Absolutely
yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
Love
And
it.
like I remember I was like the deepest I'd ever gone. I was at like, I don't know, before like you have to start adding like the deeper you go, you need to start trimix diving, which is
Hmm.
nitrogen, hyd
Oh,
helium.
yeah.
Is it helium or I don't remember. Oxygen, nitrogen, uh there's a third one I can't remember. Someone school me on this. Michael schooled me on this.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I was like, I don't know, like 180 feet, and I just like squatted down and got another 4 feet, and
I
like
love
was
it.
totally narked out. Like because you can get it feels like you've had 3 beers.
Yes, I've heard about this. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
So, anyways,
poisoning might be too strong a word, but isn't it almost like, yeah, 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 I have heard of that.
yeah.
That's nuts.
So la di da. So yeah, I really of all of the things I've done in my life, that's probably like one of the top 10 things I'm most proud of.
That rocks. I love
Yeah.
that.
What about
Um,
you?
the last one I think you'll probably still resonate with you as well is I gotta feel like a bit of a broken record here with this one. But yoga obviously has
I
been
was gonna,
so
yeah,
massive for me in so many ways. And, particularly over the past, um, well, I mean, like it has been, I've only been doing it for like what, geez, 6, 7 years now, and it has been
hmm
transformative within that time, both
hmm
mentally, physically, relationships that I've built, so it's like absolutely enormous. So yeah, I'm so grateful to it, and it's such a wonderful experience. Finding it for the first time, I still remember going to my first class and feeling it resonate with me immediately, and then just where it has taken me from then.
I could not agree more. And like I didn't, it was like we used yoga as I think I've told you this before, as like theater warm-ups,
Oh, uh-huh, that makes sense.
But I didn't really know what I was doing. I just thought I was stretching.
Hmm.
And now I
Hmm.
recognize, why I have an affinity for doing yoga and listening to Enya, because that's what I did in high school. But like it it it's not just moving your body, right? It's all the things. It connects all the things,
It's true.
you
It does.
know.
It does.
It grounds you, like just it's the most amazing gift you could give yourself, I
Agreed.
think, other than a good night's sleep.
True. We both know the value of that. I love it. All right, folks. I think we're coming to the end of our topic, so only one more thing left for me to do, which is to ask you, Beth, what's been bringing you joy this week?
Two things.
Uh-huh.
I have this Millennium Falcon Lego that I'm working
Oh yeah,
on,
uh-huh.
and I'm having fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
My son really loves, he's like, "Oh, you're working on your Lego?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you want some help?" So
Mm-hmm.
invariably it turns into him building the Lego and I hand him the pieces
Okay.
that he needs, which is like I love it because that's like what we do together.
Sure.
Also, I'm just kind of like, because I'm feeling good finally,
Hmm.
I apologize to everyone for complaining for like the last 6 months, but like I'm just living life, man, and it feels
Yeah,
great.
that
It really
rocks.
isn't, it's when you don't have your health and it's just, it makes things more difficult. So I'm
Yeah,
just really enjoying living life. I feel like I'm reliable. I'm showing up when I need to show up. And it's just really great. And I'm just finding joy in that.
that rocks. That's incredible. Yep, love it. That's bringing me joy as well. But
You're welcome.
I know that doesn't get me out of answering the question, despite my
No,
best efforts.
you can't ride my coattails, Andy.
No, I can't ride your
Sorry.
coattails. So I mean, like, I really feel like I've hit a lot of the beats of things that have been bringing me joy in my what's the crack, just because I wanted to talk about it a bit more. So, to touch on one of the things I was talking about earlier, I've been playing a video game. So there's a type of video game called Souls likes. They're basically, you may have heard of like Dark Souls, possibly you've heard of Elden Ring. Was a really
Hmm.
big game over the past few years, and those games were, I mean, they only became a thing about 10, 15 years ago, and the sensibility behind those games was that games were getting too easy. Games should be punishing. Games should reward players for perseverance and developing the skill set to get past things. These games became very popular, and now there are tons of them. There's loads of them out there, and a new one came out recently. I really love the exploration in it, but I also just love the kind of resolve that you need to beat the bosses. They are extremely hard, deeply frustrating. They are definitely games for masochists, which I am. So it's absolutely perfect. So I am both in hog heaven with it and also deeply frustrated by it and loving every second. So
Fabulous.
it's called Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Correct.
Okay.
So yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, but bringing me both joy and misery over this
I'm
past
right.
week.
Those things can coexist.
Right, my favorite
Hmm.
combo.
I know, right?
I know. Yeah, love it. Okay, so Beth, could you tell everybody where they can find us?
Find us at bendypodcast.com.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, you folks. As mentioned before, if you've got ideas for movies and things like that for a new format, please send them through to us. Any
Mhm.
comments or feedback, etc., etc. But as we've reached the end of our episode,
Also,
uh-huh.
if you have any experiences that changed your life, I
Oh
would like
yeah,
to
it's true.
know.
Yeah, yeah. Please send us those as well.
Yeah.
All right, folks. In that case, we've reached the end of our episode, and as always, we'd like to remind you to
Stay
stay bendy.
bendy.
Nice.
Definitely my voice cracked like 9 times.
I was gonna say an exhaustion special there.
Right.
All right. We love you.
Love you. Bye,
Bye
bye,
bye.
bye.